welcome back to Primetime Modelling. Hello, and this is part 2 of the Sherman Isolation build. Now, on the last video we had it all ready, painted to go, ready to go for the weathering, but in the meantime I've been looking at some parts of the vehicle, i.e. the front sort of fenders, if you like, and also the rear, and looking a bit out of scale. So what I've done is I've took off the plastic original ones and made some templates and made some out of brass. Now these were the first ones that I decided to make not so good, so I done it a slightly different way, and they're now onto the vehicle, and they're looking a lot better. I've still got some extra details to put on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how I done these, and then we'll move on to adding the extra detail on there, and there's a couple of other little bits and bobs that I want to change as well. Okay, so hoping that you're enjoying this this build, and that you're following and subscribing, and we'll be right back. Okay. Right, okay, so to show you how I actually made these brass fenders up. First off, these were still attached to the vehicle, by the way, so so what we'll do is go through the steps that I took. Right, first off is I got some masking tape and laid onto the vehicle, so like so, and then brought the side down as well. Now the first way I done it was to actually just make one sort of template, which was these, which didn't really sort of turn out the way I wanted them. So what I done was I done the top half first, which, if I can just get the tape to conform, so I got a pencil and just ran it across the edge of the piece, like so. There we go. So what I then done was cut this out, and then followed to do the other angle as well, which, get that stuck down, and then done exactly the same thing, which you can see in the camera, which is to run a pencil along the edge, like so. And then we've got the two, right, there we go, we've got the two basic shapes of the top and the side. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll quickly come back after I've cut these out, and then I'll show you what I've done. Okay. Right, okay, now I've managed to cut out the two pieces of tape. Now what I've done was, we'll just show you this quickly, is to lay this up against the straight edge, because we know that on the origin of the masking was actually a straight edge. So get that laid onto there, like so. And the second piece, now again we know that this is also an origin of a straight edge, which was the actual edge where it actually folded over. So what we do is we get to the end, get that to lay next to it. Oops, not too clever there. Stuck to my finger still. Right, and that is pushed up against. Okay, sorry about the glare. And make sure that those two lines are matched up, and then as we can see, the curve where it separates between the top and the side, so that's good, that's what we need. So what I then done was then to proceed is to cut out around all the masking tape, including taking the V out and around, and then we had the flat copy of that, and then proceeded to bend the straight edge as far as the curve. Now these ones were earlier ones where I didn't actually cut the actual V, so you can just we can just make out in there. Where are we? See if I can get the camera to focus in. Right, there we go. As you can see, there's the lip there where it's been folded in. Is it not gonna? It's not going to, is it? Hang on, let's, there we go. Right, there's an actual lip inside there, but what I've done on the second ones was a lot easier. So what was happening was obviously once the V was cut out, we could then bend this to the 90 degree, and then just by manipulating the top, it would then come around and follow the curve, and then we'd just go in there and solder the seam. So I'll show you how I've done that, and then I'll then show you exactly how we then got that to the stage of what we have. Alright, okay, be right back. Okay, right, so this is the third time of trying to do this, because for some reason the hard drive wasn't accepting any more footage, but we got there in the end. Right, so we've managed to cut the sheet out, bend it, do what we need to get to the shape. Now got this into the helping hand, and we can just quick make out, sorry about the glare, but we've got the crease, or the fold I should say, in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a thin coating of soldering paste just in the groove there, just like so. It's probably a little bit too much, but this is for demonstration purposes. Now I've got the soldering iron already warmed up to 450 degrees, and what I've got is a sort of flat pointed tip, which is great for getting into the corners. And what we'll do is we shall get the solder, and we'll just run it in, so just bear with me a second. Go. You can probably hear it fizzling, and then we just quickly run through. Like so, and then once that cools down, that should be a nice sort of puddle weld, if you like, and easy for cleaning up. Okay, right, we'll carry on. Okay, right, so now what we're trying to do is just put in some added detail of the strengtheners. Now, I know you can't really see this because of the glare, but what I've got is a piece of wire that's just held there with some of the soldering paste. So I'm now going to just try and get a little bit of solder on the soldering iron, and hopefully if I just touch this, that's going to wick itself. Maybe not. I don't think that's going to do it at all. Well, just managed to stick it to it, but not the way I wanted it. So I'm going to have to try and do this left-handed and very, very carefully, bearing in mind that we've got plastic that's going to suffer from the heat if we're not too careful. So and I think that's what's already done. Come back in a second or two. Right, well, part two, so what we actually done is we've just tacked this side in. Now hopefully I can just run a couple of little dollops of solder . Go, and that I think we can safely say is that. Just finishing off the other side. It's a little bit more scabby on that side, so just get the clean blade and then just let that run through. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be better. There we go. Lovely. Right, so that's the front detail done. Sorry about the glare, but I think you get the idea. Let me just see if I can bring this up to the camera. Get the focus in. There we go. Okay, and that side there, just a little clean up, just with a small file, but that's the reinforcements on that. So that's that, and what we might do now is just make some rear fenders or rear mud flaps and see if we can actually make those look any better, but probably not going to be soldering anything on that since they are just a pure right angle, but we'll give that a go. Okay. Right, okay, so what we've done is we've got one of the rear mud guards or chain guards, whatever, track guards, whatever you like to call them, already on there, and basically what I done was, if I just get this into manual focus, here we go, is we cut out the sheet, and then just by using a small bench vise just bent the profiles over so that what we've got is that replicated into metal. Okay, and just had them bent over like so. Still got the masking tape on this one. Alright, added a lip so we can actually glue that to the actual body of the tank. And on this one here, we've already got that one installed. Let's get that in the camera. There we go. Okay, just super glued, nice and secure, and that'll give us the facility, if we want to actually do a little bit of some battering, some dings and bends and dents if we want to, but so that at the moment is looking far better than having a big lump of thick plastic. Okay, so I think you might agree on that one. Right, so what we'll do is we'll now take this one off, fit the second one, and then we'll carry on from there. Okay. Okay, right, so we just jumped a little bit, nothing too drastic, just been experimenting in making some sort of pigment washes for myself, using some tap water, dish soap, and some Tamiya paint. Now I got the idea from Night Shift, who's got a YouTube channel. Go and check that out. So basically I've just done a couple of different shades here, basically with a flat earth, and there's a buff, and one of them's got some grey, which is that one there, just to sort of tone it down a little bit. Just been playing around with it, especially on the top here, using a brush. So coming up with rain marks. If I can just get this into manual, there we go. Just make out where all the dust is sitting in the corners, and also used it through the airbrush to do along the bogies on the tracks. Going to go with some more on that, just test fitting the tracks here as well, just to see how they go. But you can see I've got some splash marks on the side, so that's all looking good. What I'll do is I shall probably make up a sort of slightly darker shade, and we'll go through from there. But the replacement fenders that I made have all been painted up, weathered. There we go. Okay, so I think we're looking good on that, and I can just take this off. Used some of that rain marks at the back by angling the airbrush upwards, so that, you know, so obviously where the actual mud and dust would actually fly up, so using that sort of technique, so that's good. So what we'll do is we'll carry on. Obviously I've got to weather all the tracks and stuff, but that was just to stick them together and just make sure that they were okay. So they'll all come back off again, and we'll carry on and do some more weathering on the bogies, and also on the body as well, and then we've got to move on to the turret. Okay, right. Right, okay, well I thought I'd show you how I'm going to make these sort of like pigment washes, which are basically Tamiya paint thinned in water with some dish soap. So what I'm going to do first off is some dishwasher, or not dishwasher, but sort of washing up liquid. Put enough in there. There we go. So hopefully you can see there just a little bit. Let's see if we can get this focused in. There we go. Well, you can basically see that. And then just ordinary tap water. I haven't used a syringe because I don't want to be sort of spilling everything everywhere. So basically we're just going to fill so just up to the rim, and again with this one. Go. So that's those. And what we'll do is we'll just put the lid on. We'll give them a shake just to mix them up. Okay, so we got to that stage. Right. So what I'll do now is I'll come back with the colours that I'm going to make. Okay. Right, okay, well, moving on, and as we can see that I've started to weather the turret as well as the rest of the tank, which we'll show you later on. But just thinking before we go on to doing the major weathering parts, is that some of the stowage ideas that come about need some brackets putting in. So what I've done is I've drilled some holes, and using some wire is to put some brackets in there, and what I'm going to do is now I've got to put another one on the back here. So what we'll do is we'll carry on and show you how that's done. Okay. Okay, right, well, a few little jumps, mainly because I was doing bits on the live stream through my channel, so that I had some content over there, but nothing drastic, so I'll just go through these. What we've done is, obviously I show you that I put the stowage hooks on, and what I've done is just by adding some masking strips for the webbing, I've then added the bags and the ammo pouches to the sections. Okay, and on this side as well. What I've done then is I've just put some canopy glue on the bottoms of these just to stop them from flying about. And also I've put some of the original tools on, put those into their original positions, and then obviously the back ones here that should have been where the actual this box section is, this extra stowage tray, so I've took them off and put those onto there. Also we've got the spare track 3 sections built up there for added armor, and a single section there. Also just quickly put the decals on whilst I was in the middle of doing some of the weathering, because I didn't want to get those sort of on top of the weathering and then had to go too far over the top, making them sort of blend in. But I think fine, that done them sort of pretty well, so basically that's done those. Also undone the hatches of the, obviously, the commander at the top and the driver. Just quickly put the commander figure together and started painting, just to sort of get an idea, so I could actually put the hatches in the right position. Also put the driver in. Now I know he's got to sit low, obviously, when he's got his head poked out of there, because obviously the actual gun is going to whack him on the head, as it were. But I'm not sure whether I like the idea of just seeing his head sort of poke out, so I might actually sort of raise him up just a fraction, just so we can see the tops of his shoulders and parts of his jacket, so just to give that a little bit more sort of emphasis, shall we say. Also put the aerial socket or bracket on, ready to put an aerial in, and sort of been also sort of painting up the 30 caliber, well, the 50 caliber, this is, sorry, 50 caliber machine gun. So if I can just take that out of there, get this to focus in if we can. There we go. Painted the shells in as well. Okay, so I've decided to go with the short bracket. Okay, and basically that's it. Still got a lot more weathering to do. Put some more stowage on, and then also I've started doing some chipping, or some scratching, I should say, just to go along, so that when next time we do some more weathering, that'll then sort of dull that down a little bit. And that's it so far. So so all's good. So you haven't missed much at all from the live streams. The only reason I can't use any footage of them is that it's not saving it. So, and obviously there'll be all the live stream software on there as well. So that's it for now. We'll carry on into the next video, hopefully doing some more weathering, adding the stowage, and then thinking about whether we're going to put this into a diorama or not. I've got a couple of ideas, so what we'll do is we'll come back in the next one and see what we get from there. Hope you're still liking and subscribing. Give us the thumbs up, and hit the bell notification, and also any comments you want to make, put in the comment box below. Okay, please subscribe if you haven't done so, and if you know any friends that want to do so, that'll be all the more welcome. And if also you get a chance, join us in on the live streams. So we're going to be doing this sort of on a regular basis. I'll put up a notice in the on the channel, so that obviously you'll know what time and when it's going to be. But yeah, so all's good, and until next time, be good to each other, be safe, be well, and go and build a model. Okay, bye for now. Bye bye. Bye bye.